All right, so day in the life of an HVAC guy. Not working on the refrigerators today. Got some parts to replace. First things first, let's get the ladder up. Just got some little stuff. Sensor on a unit. A board change out on a unit. Oh. Grab a little watermelon candy. Board. Ugh. Sensor. See if we can go get these things running again. I don't know what your office looks like, but mine today is actually very nice. Overcast. Sun is coming though. It always does. Go up first. Unit number 1. Change this board out. Had a complaint about the unit not cooling. So I had a guy here yesterday, just jumped it out just to keep them cold till today, till we could get this base. Not sure if you guys can see that. This base is what we're replacing. Oh, nice. Our compressor is frozen. Awesome. Now we're just opening the box so we can pull the new base out. And then this part they don't think is bad. So even though it's as old as Methuselah, we'll be leaving it and swap just the base alone. And it is Novar. It's just your control board. And this is our terminal block up here that we're replacing. Has a little bit of our circuitry on the back of it. Fuse connector. So, screw, missing screw. Catch these little spacers behind it. Can we bend you up at all? So you can better see what I'm doing. Nope. This is wholly unadjustable. That's awesome. Well, hopefully you guys can see. I'm not taking video of nothing. Smells like weed up here. I wonder what the tech was doing yesterday. All right. Old board virtually out. They gave us new screws, new spacers, just to keep the back of the board away, which is nice because we're actually missing one. Transfer all of our wires wire by wire. That way we don't have any mix-ups. That's just how it's going to go. screw with spacer around all 4 corners and get the board back up in there. I'm not going to actually tighten anything down until we get all 4 of them in case we need to adjust it just a little bit. And then, as I said, we'll just swap these out one by one. Got that on cool stage 1. We have 1 and 2 jumped out for some reason. You never know. So yellow, orange, 1 and 2. We should be able to pop that jumper out. And then we'll see exactly why they had them jumped out as well. It's a common problem. Somebody has something going on, they'll rewire something to kind of rig it, never come back to actually fix it. And then one day you'll get a giant failure, something like this. That ice on that compressor is bad. That means probably we have liquid coming back to the compressor, which can damage it beyond repair. At which point you have to recover refrigerant, braze in a new dryer. It's a whole ordeal. About 6 hours, $1,000 compressor. It's a bad day. Well, it's a fine day for me. I get paid either way. If you're the owner, it's a bad day. And we'll just continue on with this. Getting all of our wires done all the way across. Remove the old board, finish securing the new board. We'll start it up. See if we can figure out why we have a frozen compressor, why we're jumping out cool stage 1 and stage 2. And I'll be back with you. So, about half of the wires changed out so far. You can see how we're rolling. We do have a couple of wires capped off over here. I think those were heat wires. Spoke to the other technician. He said we had a simultaneous call coming from the board for heat and cooling, which is why it wasn't running. Hadn't been a whole long time. You can see our ice is not really melted, but as predicted, the sun has come out and our ice is not melted, but our technician is melting. So if you think maybe one day this is the kind of work you want to get into, go out in your yard, do some work you don't like doing for about 6 hours, and then the next day, if your friend called you and said, hey, you know all that work that you did outside for 6 hours yesterday? Come over to my house and do all that for 8 hours today. Think to yourself, how much would you charge them? And we're not talking like a good friend, not family, just somebody you know. Somebody you don't know, maybe even somebody you don't like. What would it take for you to go and do all that work again and be happy about it? Because it's hot outside. Alright, gonna continue with this and I'll be back. Hey guys, I don't know how well dynamic range is on this thing, but you can see, possibly you can see, our coil for the stage with the frozen compressor completely frozen. It's been defrosting for a while now. Changing out that other board, they had another unit they wanted me to look at, so I was messing with it. So far we have our board wire by wire changed out, except for these two. I have to figure out which one is heat 1, heat 2, because the other tech took them off. Forgot to ask. And then over here somewhere, where'd you go, little buddy? Where'd you go? Oh, he's hiding. He must be camera shy. Got a little buddy in there. Let's see if I can find him. But as I was saying, we got our stuff switched out. Our ice melting off the compressor. Then we're gonna have to troubleshoot why. Let's see, stage 1. Why our first stage is freezing up, because that is not good. And I'll figure out what's going on with these two wires. By the way, no, a tool no tech should be without. Nicotine helps you think. So we'll take a couple puffs and we'll be back with you soon. As long as I don't pass out and die. Whew. So, small update. What we've got going on here is we have the ice melted. You can see our trail of tears over there coming out of the unit. We've got our coil melted, compressor melted, gauge is attached. We don't really need the superheat, which is why it's sort of in a bad position, but I just wanted to get a tiny look at what it actually was. This unit has an expansion valve, so superheat is actually controlled by this valve. This valve here has a sensing bulb on it that's attached to the suction line. Checks the superheat and opens and closes as needed, supposedly. There's not really that many internal working parts to an expansion valve. So you get a lot of people say, oh, it's the expansion valve. 90% of the time it's not. But right now, I have R22. Mainly what we're worried about is if we have subcooling. That's going to tell us if we have enough refrigerant inside the unit. Make sure we do not have a leak. We're going to watch our pressures, see what happens, see if we can figure out sort of what issue they're having that's causing the freezing. And oh god, our superheat just tanked. That'll sure enough freeze you. We are flooding the evaporator. So, we are getting ready to pack it up here. We have the unit running again. It's in communication because our board repair worked. The freezing problem that we had with compressor number 1, stage number 1. Apparently they don't want to do anything about it right now, so we're just going to let them know likely it is because your evaporator coil is dirty. You're not adding enough heat. It appears that someone, instead of cleaning the evaporator, has overcharged the unit. Have upwards in the 20s subcooling. Should be way further down. And down around 1 in the superheat, which should be way further up. So, appears to be overcharged, just not adding heat to the circuit like it needs to. But with the cycle time it's running now, doesn't appear to be an immediate problem. So just going to let the customer know all that and see which route they want to go. Other than that, she's running again. And I'll check back in with you in a minute when we go to replace dun, 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 the Linux sensor. It's going to be super easy. Alrighty guys, going to work on our Linux sensor now. Oh shit, dropped one. It is so hot. Had to call monitoring earlier and talk to somebody. They're wondering if their temperature sensor is working right, so she's like, what's the temperature outside there? So I don't know, like 80, 85. Doesn't feel that bad. But it's not 80, 85. It's 96. 96. Good Lord. As soon as I found that out, it got hotter outside. I don't like it. So, sensor in question. This little bad boy right here. Not too much to it, right? So, what we have here is failure to communicate. No, we don't. What we have is, where is it? we have this wire. Oh, here we go again. Oh, cutting wire ties. That's how we roll. That VFD does not sound good. Sounds like it's about to take a shit. Oh, wait. Not those. Wrong player. These. These instead. What is this thing doing? Well, before we change our wires, cut the power off just to make absolutely sure that we don't short anything out. That's concerning. Okay, hopefully that was a capacitor doing that. This is low voltage though, so it won't really matter. I'd just rather not short anything. Alright, and this is what we did to our old sensor. Keep our unit running while we're waiting for the new one. That way we don't destroy these leads. And when we get our new sensor, we don't have to crimp. Wait, just switch them on there. Switch them on there. New sensor is installed. We use our old one because it has the label on it. It's going to be easier if it fails again for another tech to find it, because it has the, I'll actually put it on this side so it'll face them, they can see it. That'll make it even easier. That's what we're all about. Just doing it right, but trying not to do it difficult and stupid for no reason. See if we can actually get a reading on the board this time. If you can see the board flashing. It's normally supposed to read out ecto. It has something to do with programming. I don't even know how to explain that to you guys. But we can unit test, shift. Oh, nope, not option 2. We don't want option 2. Just want unit test and shift. It's going to bring up CO1. You guys probably can't see this at all. Brings up CO1. That's unit test and shift right there. There's 2 dip switches. Then one push, you get C10, C11. Long push. We'll see a little decimal pop up. Let it go. Should bring on every bit of cooling in this unit. All 4 compressors started. Just make sure nothing locks out on us. And we should be golden. Then we get the Hazel out of here. This was the original sensor that I replaced. You can kind of see the reason why. And there you are. One more unit running. The store should be happy. And we'll check back in with you later on our next call. Hopefully it's inside a store somewhere where the air is not broken. Peace. So, repairs made. Everything's good. Got the customer going to contact us about one of them. See if they want us to clean the coil, maybe let some refrigerant out, see what's going on with the freezing problem. Maybe check out the expansion valve. This wasn't in the original work order. And then Got the sensor replaced on the other one, board replaced, all that stuff's good. Communication's back. So all in all, a good day. Tomorrow, A8 valve replacement. And it's going to be a little bit more interesting. Show you some refrigeration stuff. All right, see you then.